Hey, what's up everybody? This is George. I am the 80s Transformer fan. Welcome back to another one of my tour reviews. Today I'll be taking a look at Generation 1 Decepticon Operations Shockwave. Now Shockwave was a figure that predates Transformers. He was originally made by Toyco, a Korean manufacturing company, and he was released in gray under the name of Galactic Man, Galaxy Man, one of those. And later on, HASBRO / Takara bought the rights to produce this guy in a Transformers line. And ever since then, he's been a very, very iconic and important character in the Transformer history, and one of my favorites. And I love the fact that he's wearing his gangbang colors. And when I say that, he's in purple, like the Decepticons were the purple gangbangers and the Autobots were the red. And I always liked the guys who sported their gangbang colors. And here he is, Shockwave. My Shockwave right here is wearing repro labels. These are some very, very early repro labels. I've had this toy for like 14 years now. I bought it at a convention here in Michigan at Gibraltar Trade Center. And his sticker, well, he only had one sticker, was beat up pretty bad, and I replaced it with some repro labels way back in the day. I'm pretty sure they're a lot better now, but this is what they got. It was kind of cool that they actually covered up the screws. And as it being a G1, this guy doesn't have a lot of articulation, but because he wasn't a true Takara incarnation, he has more articulation than most. His head 360s. His little antenna move back and forth because they tuck away during the transformation. His arms move up this high, transformation. He bends at the elbow, also swivels at the elbow. His one hand completely 360s at the wrist. And his gun arm goes up and down. It has a swivel, but you don't want to move it too much because you don't want to damage the holes. Most of these guys you find out, the vintage guys, the holes are damaged or cracked. I got some tiny cracking starting in my holes, if you can see it. But it hasn't come through, but you can see like the marks from where it's about to come through. His legs, as per transformation, come up this high. He has a knee joint. He has that bit of motion there, range of motion, and he can bring his leg back this far. And then his articulation in his legs is pretty much useless. It's there, but you really can't get it to do too much in different poses where he'll stay. And if you can't pose it, I think the articulation is useless. You might as well be a straight brick, and you ain't got to worry about the joints wearing down like this guy usually does. And what they did a lot back then, a lot of these guys had electronic features which made them a lot cooler. And his gun arm, you pull the trigger, it lights up, it fires, makes that sound. I believe he was meant to be displayed with the arm reversed over the shoulder. But most people, because of the design of the outer arm, but most people, including me, they don't do it like that because it causes stress on the holes. And I only did that for the tour review. I will not be doing it again. And this is Transformers Generation 1 Shockwave. Now, I'm going to move on to my latest acquisition. I picked this guy up a little while ago, but not that long ago. This is his box. This is his packaging. Take a quick look at it. It's kind of beat up, but not very beat up. I got a very good deal on it. I always wanted the box and the styrofoam to go with mine. I got a great deal on this, and I'm very, very happy with it. But anyway, his box says Decepticon Operations Shockwave, laser action lights, 2 ultra laser sounds, transform from laser gun, robot, and back is the top of his box. Now, this guy was never reissued for the reason I stated earlier. He was licensed from Toyco, and I guess they would have had to relicense it to reissue, but he's going to get a masterpiece. I don't know how they got around that. He has a knockoff reissue, but not an official Takara Tomy Hasbro reissue. Side of the box, the back of the box. He was one of those guys that came out in between waves or at the end of the first wave. And here is his bio. And what they never included on the cartoon, but we saw it in the comic books frequently. He was the military operations commander. He was actually ranked second to Megatron. And a lot of people thought Starscream held that position, but Shockwave was actually second in command. And I've heard people say Starscream second in command on Earth and Shockwave was second in command on Cybertron, which is not really correct. Wherever, if they were all together, all the Decepticons were in one room, Shockwave is second in command. And in the comic book, if you read the comic book, you would know that he was very badass. He actually took control from Megatron of the Decepticons and ruled the Decepticons while Megatron was still functioning. And Megatron actually obeyed Shockwave. Get this guy out of the box. Here he is in the styrofoam. A couple things he came with. He came with the decoder, his instruction booklet, not in color. He was probably the first guy when they transitioned it from being in color to save some money. Instruction booklet shows you how to put the batteries in there. Shows you the transformation, which is very, very simple. And I'm pretty sure when they masterpiece this guy, when it comes out, they will overcomplicate the very simple transformation. Came with the catalog to show you other figures in the line. And it is the catalog of the first run, guys. And here is Megatron and the Decepticons at the bottom. So that is the catalog. And here is Shockwave. And I would tell you what type of deal I got on this damn thing, but probably wouldn't believe me anyway. But I got a great deal. Here he is. The barrel attached, and I keep the battery in here, but I don't store the battery in the toy because you get that corrosion in the battery compartment and all of that. No one wants that. So we're going to get the battery in this guy, and I always wanted another one anyway because when I display it, I try to display them like the catalog. This is everybody that I have a duplicate of. I display them like this. I display them in car mode, in robot mode, and with Soundwave. I got my Toys R Us one, and I got my original, and I display them like that. So happy to get another one. Happy to get that price. Let me keep moving forward with my review. And here he is in laser pistol mode. And one of the really cool things about him was, unlike Megatron, he didn't shrink down. He stayed like this massive gun that could be wielded by combiners, or he would just float there and hover. And that's one sound. And then he has a second sound, which is the most annoying sound and would get you in trouble as a kid. Your parent would be like, turn that thing off. Yeah, that one sucks. He has the little laser sights. I don't know who will be using that or whatever, but he has it. I guess it's for when you playing with it. You aim down the sights. Again, very simple transformation. Just remove the barrel. His arms down, his head pops up on his own. Swivel the one arm. This guy is nice and stiff, which I love. Bring his arm straight down. Again, you don't want to swivel it because you don't want to stress the hose. This hose is in better condition than my first Shockwave. Flip his backpack up. Legs come down. Slide his die-cast legs. He has die-cast legs, and he has die-cast in his feet, which I love because it always made it seem like you were getting like a higher quality toy. If you can get the die cast, the rubber, and the vac metal. He has a little bit of vac metal chrome, which is his eye. There's only one eye. And here he is in robot mode. Alright, I'm going to bring in my older version that I've had longer and compare its Decepticon symbols. This is the factory Decepticon symbol, and this is the reprolabels version. I don't know if you can see it, but the reprolabels version is darker, and the lines that cut out from the top of the symbol are a lot sharper in there. I don't know how well it's coming up on camera, but visually, to my naked eye, it's a big difference. And now I have two of these guys I can display. And speaking of display, when I was a kid playing with mine, like, his huge size was awesome. I love the size of this guy. And when I played with this guy, I usually had him fighting Jetfire, since the commercial had Jetfire as his main enemy. And I followed through with that, and I had this guy fighting Jetfire. Okay, if I can just get him to stand up now. I had this guy fighting Jetfire. But when you tried to scale him with, say, Soundwave and Megatron, like, he was just a giant. So what I would do is I would just collapse his legs, and this way he was just a little bit more in scale. He was still bigger than these guys, but like I said, you collapsed his legs and he fit in a little bit better and could have a better conversation with, hey, Soundwave, hey, Shockwave, how's the waves going? And with Megatron, he scaled a lot better. See, it wasn't perfect, but it was a lot better. These guys out of here. Bring this guy back, full size. And I really wanted to do this toy review because he'll be coming out soon, his masterpiece version, and I didn't want to cram it all in there together. And that's pretty much all I can say about this. And thanks for joining me for another toy review, and I'll see you soon.